Get ready for another Random Facts Showdown. Today we're diving into some crazy facts you need to watch. The factorial of 10 is 3,628,800, which means there are 3,628,800 different ways to arrange 10 cards. The factorial of 52, the number of cards in a deck, is a number greater than the number of atoms on Earth. Probability of 2 people in a group of 23 people having the same birthday is 50%. A litter of kittens can have separate fathers due to multiple mates during the mother's heat. Certain mammals such as the red kangaroo or roe deer can perform embryonic diapause, the ability to pause embryo development in unfavorable environmental conditions, effectively saving the embryo and the mother's life in bad conditions. Platypuses and echidna do not have stomachs. That's right, platypuses and echidnas are oddballs even among mammals. Unlike us, they don't have stomachs. Their food skips a pit stop and goes straight from their esophagus to their intestines. The Australian funnel web spider's venom is extremely toxic to primates, but mostly harmless to many other animals. There are no primates in Australia, apart from humans. Contrary to their name, guinea pigs are rodents originating from the Andes, not pigs, and not from Guinea. Venus rotates so slowly you can keep the sunset in the same place and watch sunset forever just by walking. Parents lose around 350 hours of sleep at night in a baby's first year, or even more. I can prove that with my experience with my first son. The funny thing is that with my second son, it was the complete opposite. You might be surprised, but mountain goats aren't actually goats. They belong to a different group of animals, even though their name suggests otherwise. True goats, like the ones you might see on a farm, are in a genus called Capra. Mountain goats, on the other hand, have their own genus, Oriamnos. This means they're more closely related to other hoofed animals like antelope than they are to true goats. Goats' horizontal and almost perfectly rectangular pupils give goats a field of vision of 330 degrees. This means that they can see virtually all but their own backs without turning their head. This gives them a much better chance of noticing a predator before it gets too late. The first thing we develop in the womb is an anus. For the first few seconds of life, we are floating anuses. Okay, this is an oversimplification. Let me explain. The very first opening serves as a single exit for waste products, urine and stool, and the reproductive system. Later, it starts to divide, forming the anus, the urogenital opening, and in the other end, the mouth. Animals can be categorized in how they develop as embryos. In this example, they are called deuterostomes. In protostomes, the first opening in the embryo becomes the mouth. It occurs in arthropods, mollusks, annelid worms, and some other groups. Earthworms have even been ranked the #1 most influential species in the history of the planet above dinosaurs and humans, because they improve soil structure, enhance nutrient cycling, and support various animal populations. The snake sticks out its tongue to gather chemical info from the environment around it, and then carries it back to 2 receptors on the roof of its mouth called the Jacobson's organ. Arthropods are the reigning champs of the animal kingdom in terms of sheer numbers, with over 5 million identified species, and there's many more insect species waiting to be discovered. These little crawlies have been around for a mind-blowing long time. Fossil evidence suggests arthropods were already thriving over 500 million years ago. Some arthropods, like spiders and crabs, can detach a limb if threatened. This self-sacrifice, called autotomy, allows them to escape a predator's grasp and regenerate the lost limb later. It's estimated that around 1 out of every 200 people has an extra rib. This extra rib is called a cervical rib, and it forms above the typical 12 ribs on each side. This extra rib grows at the base of the neck, just above the collarbone. NASA's Phoenix Mars lander has detected snow falling from Martian clouds. The snow vaporized before reaching the Martian surface. The home remedy of ginger for nausea actually has some science behind it. It turns out ginger contains a substance called gingerol, which is converted into a substance that blocks nausea signals in the stomach. It works in a similar way prescription anti-nausea drugs do. It only took 1 year and 45 days to build the Empire State Building. That's impressive. The Venus flytrap snaps shut in a lightning-fast 100 milliseconds, making it one of the fastest plant movements in the world. That's quicker than the blink of an eye. Don't forget to subscribe. Cordyceps fungi are parasitic on insects, taking over their bodies and manipulating them to climb to high points before releasing spores. One particular species targets ant brains, causing them to clamp down on leaves with their mandibles, creating a perfect platform for spore dispersal. So basically turning insects into zombies. Got some Last of Us vibes. Research suggests trees may communicate with each other through volatile organic compounds, VOCs, released by their leaves. These VOCs might warn of insect infestations or water stress, promoting a cooperative response within the forest. The Fermi paradox questions the apparent contradiction between the high probability of extraterrestrial life and the lack of evidence for it. Elements beyond fermium, element 100 on the periodic table, are synthetically produced in labs and exist for only fractions of a second. Bonsai is not a specific type of tree, but the Japanese art form of making trees look miniature. The term rhinoceros originates from two Greek words, rhino, meaning nose, and ceros, meaning horn. Rhinos have the capability to reach speeds of up to 31 miles per hour or 50 kilometers per hour. Fully grown rhinoceroses lack natural predators apart from humans. There exist 5 distinct species of rhino: the African white rhinoceros and black rhinoceros, and the Indian, Javan, and Sumatran rhinoceroses. Among these species, the Javan and Indian rhinoceroses possess a single horn, whereas the other 3 species possess 2. The white rhinoceros ranks as the second largest terrestrial animal globally, following the elephant. They can attain weights exceeding 7,700 pounds, 3,500 kilograms, and lengths of up to 13 feet, 4 meters. On average, rhinos have a lifespan of 35 to 40 years. Cholesterol, a vital type of lipid, serves crucial roles in animal life when present in appropriate quantities. It facilitates cell membrane formation, aids in food digestion through bile acid production, and contributes to the synthesis of vitamin D and hormones, such as testosterone and estrogen. In the majority of individuals, 60–70% of cholesterol resides in LDL particles, often dubbed bad cholesterol. While LDL particles transport cholesterol to tissues requiring it, excessive LDL cholesterol levels lead to cholesterol deposition in the bloodstream, contributing to health issues. High-density lipoproteins, HDLs, characterized by higher protein content than fat, are commonly referred to as good cholesterol. Unlike LDL, HDL functions to remove excess cholesterol from tissues and transport it back to the liver. Emotions are intertwined with memory. Events we experience with strong emotions are often more vividly remembered, for better or worse. Thanks for tuning in to discover these fascinating random facts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing tidbits in future videos. Until next time.